Breaking news out of Virginia, where hundreds of drivers have been stranded in their vehicles since yesterday afternoon. It's all happening on I-95 near the town of Fredericksburg. It's about 60 miles outside of D.C. More than a foot of snow fell in the region on Monday morning, but that seemed to have led to this. Multiple accidents, and it also turned this major highway, this interstate, into a parking lot for miles and miles. We're told crews are working at this hour to get things moving once again, but this has been a dangerous situation and a real nightmare for hundreds of people. Traffic frozen in place for dozens of miles in the middle of winter. I want to bring in first Kristen Powers. She's a reporter with WJLA in Washington. Kristen, you've been kind of in the middle of this since early this morning as you were getting reports of people being stranded. What's happening right now?
Yeah, Kate, I was stuck in it since about 2 a.m. At this point, though, there's some people who have been stuck on I-95 for 21 hours and counting. So right now, I actually was just able to, I call it escape. VDOT was saying they're letting people off on the nearest exits closer to them, and that was true. I got off near Woodbridge. I'm going to turn around my camera just so you can see. And basically, what's happening on my end of what I'm seeing is people who got off, including a lot of truck drivers, they're now lining those side roads, trying to find a different route. What I also saw is trucks getting gas. I saw a lot of gas canisters on the sides of trucks there. So that's what's happening here. But back on I-95, I just checked in with a colleague who's closer to Stafford. Stafford is the area where the majority of the big backlog is happening, and people have been there for 21 hours and counting. He says the southbound lane is still at a standstill, and this is a gridlock that people have been in all night, really. And you can only imagine, some are running out of gas, so some are turning on and off their cars to conserve that. Some people have run out of gas, ran out of food, water. And then there's just the urge to need to go to the restroom. Some people, haven't been able to do that either. So it is quite a mess. And VDOT says they are responding, but it's definitely taking time. And a lot of people are frustrated here.
Understandably so. I mean, tell me more about what you are hearing from, or what the governor has said, and what the Department of Transportation is saying about this. It's one thing to say they're working to get things moving, but it's another thing entirely when people have been literally stranded in place for 21 hours of why it's not moving.
Yeah, we did reach out to Governor Ralph Northam numerous times, hadn't heard back from him, but a few hours ago, he did tweet out a statement saying that his office has been working with VDOT and the corresponding agencies in order to help get people out of this mess and guide them. He also said people who were stuck would be getting an alert on their phones, letting them know that help is on the way. A few of the people who are stranded, who I've been in contact with just from social media, they got that alert. I personally never got that alert when I was stuck. And he also had mentioned coming out and setting up some spaces for people to warm up. But I, again, got off, so I was not able to see that in action. We did ask, because a lot of people were asking us, and they were inquiring as they're just stuck sitting here, if the National Guard would be on hand to help out with the situation, help out in the efforts to get people off I-95, both northbound and southbound, because this is happening on both lanes, northbound moving a little more, southbound not moving at all. But the governor did not respond to that question when we did ask that.
We'll stay on top of that for sure. A lot of questions to be asked now. Kristen, thank you very much for your reporting. I really appreciate it from our affiliate, from local affiliate WJLA. Really appreciate it. Let's go now to CNN's Weather Center for a little bit more on what may have caused all of this mess. Chad Myers has been looking at this, and he's joining us right now. Chad, the weather that brought this about, was this unexpected? How did it get so bad?
Well, the forecast was not unexpected. The forecast was really spot on. The computers did a very, very good job. What brought it on was that it was raining at midnight, then it got cold enough to snow, and then it snowed 2 to 3 inches per hour, and people weren't prepared to try to drive in that. One person slid off, somebody else had to slow down. You know, it's not a completely flat area there. Got to get up a hill, trucks getting down a hill. So there was a lot involved here. But you know, look at how much of the area picked up as much snow, and we only have one real area that's had been so impacted. Now, New Jersey, the southern part of New Jersey was impacted a lot too, don't get me wrong. But 14.6 inches of snow right where most of the problem occurred. People just couldn't get moving. Plows couldn't get through because the cars were in the way. It was 47 degrees at midnight. Then all of a sudden it was raining. Then all of a sudden it wasn't raining. It was changing over to snow. And then by 2 o'clock, it was snowing so hard people couldn't get out of the way. They couldn't get out of the snow that they were building. They were packing it down. This is snowball man snow. And so when you pack it down, it doesn't go out of the way. It doesn't just fly away like a powder. This was, and still is, a very big problem.
Chad, thanks so much for that. So for the hundreds of people stuck in this gridlock since Monday afternoon, this quickly turned from inconvenience to a nightmare. Joining me now on the phone are two people who both spent their nights stranded in their cars. Sean Stafford is with us, as well as Susan Phelan joining on the phone. Susan, I think you've just started moving. And for everyone out there, Susan and I have known each other for years from working on the Hill. I'm so sorry we're reconnecting this way, Susan, for goodness sake.
I know.
You've just started moving, but what are things looking like where you are now?
I am just north of Quantico now, and I'm very excited because the streets are wet, but they're not slushy, they're not icy. Traffic's moving at probably 50 miles an hour. I pulled off to the side to talk on the phone, but on the southbound side, it's absolute gridlock again. It's semi-truck after semi-truck after semi. It's just thousands and thousands not moving, not even rolling an inch.
What has the last 24, it's a little short of 24 hours for you, but what has the last day been like? I mean, you get to sleep in your car.
Yeah, there wasn't even a whole lot of sleep. The only benefit was I had a charger cord for my phone, I had heat, and I had cell connection and internet, which was a lot more than I had at the house that I left. I left the house in Fredericksburg to go to a different house in Alexandria where the power was on. But because I didn't have cell phone or internet connection at the house in Fredericksburg, I wasn't able to see this nightmare I was walking into until I was smack dab in the middle of it, and then it was too late.
Oh my gosh! I mean, you've been in the D.C. area for years. Have you seen anything like this before?
I never have. The times I've seen anything close, I've just been lucky enough to not be a part of it or sitting in the middle of it. But I'm only 50 miles from where I need to be, and it's completely frustrating to have. I mean, I got on the interstate last night at 8 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock in the morning now, so I could have walked home faster than this, pretty much.
I mean, sadly, that's true, except for the fact that it was, got into the 20s last night and would have been even more dangerous for you. Sean, let me bring.
The scary part.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Susan. What?
No, I was going to say that's the scary part. Is I'm healthy and I could park the car and walk out of this, but there are a lot of people out here: the elderly, the infirm, people who can't walk, people who need medicine. It's not like there are food trucks out here, and not even bathrooms. So it can turn into from a convenience into a crisis pretty quickly, and then from a crisis to a tragedy even faster.
I think that's the real concern right now is that as the hours tick on, we don't know the full extent of how people are really doing that are stuck in this, that are still stuck. Let me bring Sean in. Sean, Susan was just talking about her experience overnight. Can you tell us about your experience? I mean, you're trying to make it home to Long Island, New York.
Yeah, my drive was a bit longer. I started in Central Florida at 4 a.m. on Monday, and I got to 95 in Virginia about 5 o'clock after GPS tried to take me on some side roads that were then blocked by someone in a trailer that couldn't get through a tiny snowy lane. And then I spent the night there with the puppy that I was bringing up from Florida and clothes that I was wearing in Florida. So it was, a little worrisome to have to keep the heat running and hopefully not run out of gas at the same time.
I mean, it did get down into the 20s overnight. I mean, were you scared, Sean?
No, I'd had over half a tank, and I've unfortunately, had jobs where I've had to sleep in a car overnight or work calls. So I wasn't too worried. I had enough water. Thankfully, I packed a bunch before I left. But, my wife was at home with our two kids. She was worried, so she didn't sleep at all. I mean, I didn't sleep very much either in the car, but not scared, but, frustrating and a little worrying at times, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to remind folks, it's not like you are both stuck on a county back road that we all have traveled on many times. I mean, you're on I-95. How many emergency vehicles or even snowplows have you seen through this whole ordeal, Sean?
I saw a number of snowplows on the southbound side. They seemed to be replowing an area that looked pretty clean. I guess they were just trying to keep it clean, even though it had stopped snowing hours ago. The only other vehicle I saw was a kind of a pickup with kind of boxes on it, for tools and whatnot. They drove up to another car near me. I didn't see what they were doing. But other than that, I didn't see any emergency vehicles until this morning when a sheriff's car passed me. I did get the 2 alerts that were mentioned, but those are just messages on my phone. They didn't materialize into anything that I could use besides, a loud noise scaring my dog for no reason. But other than that, I did not see not really a lot of help out there, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I'm really happy to hear that you're doing okay, Sean, and that hopefully you'll be on your way. That's the thing we don't know, is how quickly everyone's actually going to be getting on their way. But thank you for coming on. Susan, thank you so much for jumping on the phone with me. I really appreciate it.
You bet. Anytime. Thanks. Kate.
Thank you so much. Get home safe, please.